Hey there YouTube, it's Hex again. I'm back with another video. I had someone in the comments of my last video ask me about how Chris and I blessed the house and how we use like crystals, because I talked about the crystals that we have everywhere, that sort of thing. So I'll kind of like walk you guys through almost what we did. As you guys can see, I'm in front of the witchy cabinet. I kind of figured out some lighting stuff for now to help you guys out. My altar, the child stuff everywhere, you know, life and whatnot. Okay, so when we moved in, Chris's mom is a Native American spiritualist, so we actually asked her to come and help us bless the house before Chris and I did our own blessings. So she came in with her sage and her eagle feathers and that sort of thing, and she did her own blessing and cleansing of the home. Um, and the property itself. And then Chris and I had made a couple different things. So you guys will remember, if you've been following me for a while, um, this bottle here is my black water. I have a recipe for that. It's got a whole video to it. Black water is used for cleansing, protection, banishing, anything of that sort. Um, And then in this bottle here, now if you guys follow another witch on YouTube, Lady Grave Dancer, she has a very similar recipe to this. This bottle of liquid here is tobacco water. Um, I didn't know anybody else really made that until I saw her video. It's something that my grandma used to talk about. When I was a kid, I remember hearing her talk about it, and then I kind of figured out what it was used for. So we made tobacco water, we had the black water, and then we took sage and Palo Santo. So Palo Santo comes in stick form for the most part. Let me show you. Sorry guys, I'm just like walking back and forth. Here's some Palo Santo here. It's holy wood, one of my favorite smells in the entire world. And we saged the home and the entire property line. So we walked around the entire property line with sage and Palo Santo and blessed the entire property. And then we did the same to the inside of the home. And then, let me show you guys, I don't know if you can see this. And then we came inside the home. And after we cleansed with sage, that little black dot that you guys see right here, that's actually a stain on the wall that we put there purposefully. You can't see it now because it's completely dried down, but for the first few seconds, it's actually in the shape of a pentacle. And that's with the black water. So we took the black water, almost knocked the chair over, sorry guys. We take the black water and we go to every doorway and we cleanse each doorway magically and energetically, and then we seal it with black water. And so the black water we use to draw sigils and whatnot above each doorway. And that helps to protect from negativity getting in, that sort of thing. It also seals the door from any enemies. Then we did the same with Florida water. I sprinkled Florida water and mopped the floors, that kind of thing. So that was taken care of. And then we went to the outside of the actual house itself. And with the rest of the black water, we actually poured down the door frame and down the outside of the door and the security doors that we have on our doors, those steel like screen doors. We poured the black water down those to create like a veil, and then we also sealed the outside. Once all of that was done, and we went to every single door on the house. Once that was done, we went ahead and took the tobacco water. I'll do a video if you guys want. Just let me know. I can do a whole video about tobacco water, but I'll tell you guys quickly how I made it. So I took a mason jar, filled it with 70% alcohol, rubbing alcohol. You get it at like your local drugstore, CVS, it's like $3, if that, for a decent sized bottle. And I put cinnamon, ground cinnamon. I went and bought a Black and Mild cigar, and I opened the cigar casing and dumped the tobacco actually in there. And I let it sit for almost a week prior to doing this. And then I also put some essential oils. I have patchouli. Oh my gosh, what else did I put in there? Patchouli, I think I have lavender. Rosemary. Rosemary's super protective, so I put rosemary essential oil in there. And then I also put rosemary herb in there as well. Um, and the cinnamon actually turns the color of the fluid to like a reddish brown, almost like terracotta color, which is super pretty. And so Lady Grave Dancer actually uses this in the same way that we used it. We took it right outside of our front door. There's a stoop. It's like a cement stoop. The people that lived here before us, the woman was diagnosed with multiple sclerosis, or MS, if you guys know it by that. And so she was sometimes confined to a walker, or was soon to be confined to a wheelchair. So there was actually a cement ramp that leads up to our doorway, that connects with the steps that lead up to our door, because our house is a little raised on the foundation. So we went down to the steps, and on the actual steps, we poured out a puddle of the tobacco water, and you take a lighter and you light it. And the tobacco water immediately catches fire, and it's the most incredible feeling if you've done it correctly, or if it's working the way you want it to. As soon as that ignites, you feel all the energy decompress and bound out to the barrier of your property and seal it. And it was almost like our entire property was in a vacuum of energy where nothing that we didn't want in was going to get in. And then you just let it burn off, and the fire burns away, and then what you're left with is a little bit of sometimes water left on the step, and you just let it dry, and that is it. Super simple as far as the house blessing goes. You know, it depends on what you want. We obviously ask for protection. We also put up wards for blocking away negative workings against us or negative influence. And with a certain situation in our life to actually help hide us from a particular person. That's not something I really want to get too much in detail for, but we did put up some words for that as well, and that has to do with the baby. So, as far as the crystals go, let me take you over. I don't know if you guys are going to be able to see this, I'm sorry. Yes, we have a machete by the door. Chris and I are both many, many years martial artists, both self-trained and actually trained in different arts. So we have weapons scattered throughout the home, and either hidden or completely visible. But as you guys can see here, I don't know. Oh god, I hope the camera's gonna pick this up later. I'm sorry, guys. We have some crystals along the door frame, on top of this sconce here. And then down on the floor, I'll put my foot there, right here, there's a giant quartz crystal that has been blessed. And so we protect our entryway from negative influence. So we don't have to sage every time we walk in. The crystals catch it, almost like a net. So there's that. And then in different areas of the house, we have crystals everywhere. Almost gridding the entire home to do what we want. In Chris's room, he's got quite a few crystals laid about for protection and cleansing and that sort of thing. But yeah, so I guess that's really it. It's a very, very simple ritual. Maybe I'll have Chris record it the next time we do it, because you do have to reset every so often. We did that back in July. It is now the new year, so we'll probably do a new one for the new first half of the year in the next couple weeks or so. Not that I feel like it's not working, but I can just feel it's not as strong as we want it to be. So that's pretty much it. Yeah, so for that, the things you'll really need, and these are optional, you can kind of use what works for you. You can use holy water if that works better for you, black salt, brick dust. This time we're going to lay brick dust at the doorways. Recently we were at the beach and we found some actual brick. Now, I don't know if a lot of people know this, but the bricks you guys see in like Home Depot and Lowe's and your hardware stores now, they're not actually real brick like they used to make back in the day. The old bricks were made of certain types of clays and different ingredients that have a very particular, I don't know how to explain it, like a texture and energy to them. And so The beach we went to, there were some old buildings that were demolished, and there's still some remnants left at the beach. Well, we found 2 or 3 ginormous pieces of brick, and we have them somewhere here in the house. I don't know what Chris did with them. I'll have to find them tomorrow, and maybe I'll do a video on it. But we want to grind down brick dust, and make our own brick dust, which is an old hoodoo trick to protect and ward your property and anywhere that you don't want enemies afoot. So we'll line part of our property with that, and obviously the entryways into the home as well. But yeah, so I recommend Florida water, black water, and tobacco water being the 3 like fluids that you'll use. Oh, you know what? I'm gonna have to do a video on this, you guys, and I'm sorry I'm rambling. I feel like I have so much I want to talk to you guys about because I've been gone for so long. I'm just really excited to be filming again. In the tobacco water, along with the ingredients I mentioned before, Chris and I also pricked our finger and we each did 1 to 2 drops of blood in the tobacco water. And that ties it to us energetically as well. And that way, it's hard to explain, and a lot of people, unless you're really in tune with energy, you're not going to really be able to feel it. But we can feel when there's something not right with the house. We know. Like, we know. And I think it's because of that protective ward that we've put on with our blood. So, yeah, that's pretty much it, you guys. I'm going to let you go because I'm starting to ramble and there's not really a point to it. Yeah, so if you guys have any more videos you want to see, definitely let me know. I have a couple more I'm going to film right now. I'm going to talk about a couple things. And yeah, so I will talk to you guys soon. Until next time, blessed be.